Good morning, everybody. It's finally time for me to give you some updates and to reveal a secret project I've been working on. Good morning. So much to update you guys on. The last time we were together, you guys recall I had just closed on a house. It's our forever home, now affectionately called the Dusty Diamond Ranch. We established the TueZday garage, walked around the property, did some treasure hunting, and some fun exploration. Since then, I spent the last part of July and August completing our move into the house, getting ourselves established, doing all the things. In September, a lot of maintenance, a lot of cleaning. We filled up a 30-yard dumpster of all the stuff that was left behind. Found a couple more things around the property, got them running, got them working, did a lot more grass cutting and bushwhacking and, stuff we'll talk about later. September was extremely busy, and for good reason, because looming in the distance in October was another knee surgery, this time a partial knee replacement. And so I knew I needed to get a lot of stuff done in September because I knew at some point I was going to be pretty much out of the game for quite a while. Then mid-October, our HVAC system went out. We had to get that whole system replaced, which really sucked. And then came late October when I actually finally had my knee surgery. That was all a big success. And since then, this is my life. Sitting in this contraption that just, bends my knee over and over and over again. And I get to do this for 4 to 6 hours a day, sitting in my fun little recovery room, which is a guest bedroom of the house that I've kind of got established, my sanctuary and just where I spend all my time. With all this going on, I've got a lot of time on my hands. A lot of reading, a lot of playing video games, a lot of watching YouTube, and a lot of Legos. I built that. All of those up there. Yeah, a lot of sitting around. And during my recovery, as you can see, I've been fully enjoying and embracing the No Shave November, which has been fun. It's been really great. I had a family member once pass away from prostate cancer. It's just a great way that, I could show some support. We've seen BC and mustaches multiple times. This time I'm just kind of going all out. So that's fun and that's cool. It is now almost December. It's been a month since my surgery and I'm feeling really good. Still sitting on crutches here, and that's gonna be a thing, I think, until about January, which really kind of sucks. That kind of takes a little bit of gas out of the equation of getting stuff done as far as a TueZday garage perspective is, but still got things I want to tell you about, show you, and all the things that are going on as we've finally gotten moved in, done some more exploration on the property, cleaned some things up. You may recall some time ago, and probably a year ago, I mentioned that I met a guy with an R33 GTR. About this time last year, he was out on a drive, did what some people do sometimes, and hit the money shift, and all of a sudden had a little bit of knocking in his engine. After almost about 8 to 9 months of just talking back and forth, we finally found some time to get together and start investigating what was going on with his car. Unfortunately, not good news, but fortunately, I think we found the problem. It's just going to be a long road ahead for his recovery. I've got about another 30 minutes in this thing, then I've got to go and actually do an in-clinic physical therapy session. While I'm going off and doing that, I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage of working on this GTR. I hope you guys enjoy that, and then once I get back from my thing, we'll be back together. And yeah, let's just talk about what's been going on around the Dusty Diamond Ranch and the TueZday garage. Good morning. Totally new location, new project, new buddy on the channel. Kind of been keeping it a secret from you because I've been working on the house a lot, and this has kind of been an in-between thing. Now it's time to finally bring you into what we've been working on. It's awesome. It's one of my dream cars. You guys know that. It's a freaking 33 GTR V-Spec, midnight purple, super sick, nasty. This is the guy that is fortunate enough to own it. Very clean, very awesome, and very disassembled. We've already been working pretty hard over, I think, maybe 2 other sessions. Tearing all of this stuff out. There's a long story about all that, but this is a good chance for him to kind of reset and un-super Japanese a lot of things that are going on in here, which is really good. At first, thought maybe he threw a shim, so we checked those. That didn't happen. Then we drained the oil and found a valve retainer inside the oil, which was pretty bizarre. After a series of cranking the engines over, we heard the dreaded knocking sound. Cylinder number 4, I believe, has spun a bearing, so today is the day that the engine engine is coming out, the block is coming out. We'll see about the transmission. Not entirely certain yet, but we got a lot of preparatory work to do before we start doing that. The hood off, clean up some of the wiring, the hoses, disconnect all that, etc., etc. So how did you spin a bearing?
Pretty sure it was a Miss 2-3.
Yeah. So we're gonna get conditions, all that stuff set, be back with you, gonna have some action. This is gonna be a cool project. I think I heard him say something about selling this to me when we're done. Yeah, I could only hope. But yeah, here we are. This is awesome. Things are moving along, getting to a really good place. Pretty much everything in here is completely disconnected from the engine, except for the transmission, which we're getting to, but I think she's pretty free, pretty available, and open for business. The last thing we're doing right now, pulling out this axle. We've got everything disconnected on the knuckle side. We just gotta get this guy undone, then start pulling the shaft out and get that out of the differential. Then it's freaking go time, man. Time to yank it out. I'm not trying to drop anything on anything, because that would not be fun. But maybe if it was an accident, he'd want to get rid of the car. So yeah. Making good progress. Probably gonna have to make a tool run. It looks like that is a 36 or a 37. Don't have that on hand. Yeah, good progress. We'll see you when we start yanking this shaft. You know what I mean. All right, the moment has arrived. We are about to yank the engine out. We're gonna go ahead and leave the transmission in. He's just getting a jack set up underneath. It's been good. We got the axle out, came out super easy, no issues whatsoever. I think I'm gonna try and set you guys up somewhere, because when isn't it cool to see an engine come out, especially in a garage, doing TueZday garage things on a 33 GTR Midnight Purple. If this all goes horribly wrong, we're not gonna hide it. And if it all goes horribly great, or exceedingly great, yes, that's the right words, then we'll all celebrate and look forward to libations. So without any further ado, we're gonna put a little background music on. Yeah, that's the jam. We'll do that right there as we take the heart out of Godzilla. It's out. It's out. Dude, easy day, easy day. Unfortunately, we had to have the drive shaft. A couple of the nuts, they're actually spun off around it. Definitely didn't want to dork up that beautiful clutch. Yeah, dude, your car's dirty. This is gross.
Yeah, I detailed it a few days ago.
You know what? It has been converted to a push type. It's interesting. The cool thing about having it out too, he bought this, it had a lot of stuff going on, lots of extra sensors and things that are all over the place, and just the way things are wired. Not the cleanest setup, and he admits that as well, but now this is kind of like a time to just start fresh, kind of strip it down, clean it up, maybe some paint, efficiencies in wiring routing and hose routing and all the routings. I think we agree that the block is going somewhere at some point. This was not too bad at all. But how are you feeling, man?
I am absolutely pumped. I'm also nervous to try to see what happened at the bottom end.
Yeah.
I'm at the doctor's office waiting for a diagnosis.
and you said you compare it to what?
You either finding out that you have cancer or an autoimmune disease. It's gonna be a new ride. It's gonna be a whole new bottom end, which is gonna lead to a stroker, or it's gonna be a wrist pin.
There you go. It's gonna be awesome. Regardless, it's gonna be awesome. This was really cool. First 33 I've worked on, especially to this level. First time he's done anything this extreme to his car. He's actually a very talented mechanic, but this car it scares the poo-poos out of him. As you guys know, we don't have to tell you, these are unobtainium. These are so expensive that, yeah.
It's not a $4,000 engine anymore.
It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, buying this is not just a Skyline. This is a $65,000, $80,000 car, and we just pulled the engine out like a couple monkeys with freaking straps. So, but you know, we know what we're doing, so it's fine. This was kind of like the big mission accomplished for the day. I think we're gonna sit around, maybe eat some chips, develop a little bit of a game plan. We're gonna get the engine situated on a engine stand and at least give him a chance to start taking it apart. Much later than expected, but still a very productive day. We had to take a little bit of a timeout, try and find some bolts. Engine stand that I've brought over to put the block on, dealy things are just a little too long, accommodate the existing transmission bolts. The one bolt we needed, they were completely sold out of. Put this side of the suspension back together, car's back on the ground. Awesome engineering here to hold the transmission up, and everything is fine and great. Engine's over there, he's gonna take care of that later. Like I said, that's his favorite. Gear oil, that's his absolute favorite, just like mine is coolant. Super successful success, man. Like, this has only been 3 days of work and honestly quite a lot of unnecessary stuff taken apart. If we were just pulling the engine from the get-go, we wouldn't have done all of that. It was all a process of diagnostics and getting down to the root of the problem and just learning, really. It's just all about learning. I think we're at a good place. I hope you enjoyed this stuff. It won't be the last time that we're working on this car. We'll definitely be out here back again. This might end up being its own episode. It might not. So, I don't know. All right. A few days have gone by, and as you can see, the beard has now been put in sport mode. I hope you kind of enjoyed that secret project that has been going on. Right now, we're kind of in a waiting game. He's still continuing to tear the engine down, really kind of get to the root of the problem, which we're pretty sure we know what the problem is, but now a matter of getting it to the right professionals to remediate that. The next time we're involved is probably whatever he needs help with putting it all back together. Definitely he has the same mentality I do. Is like, while you're in there, you know, like, what else do you want to do while you're here? Yeah, it's a beautiful day today, man. It is wet and it's humid and it's warm and it's December. It hasn't rained. I think it's going to. It's like 70 degrees and I'm in shorts and yeah, my boo-boo is, you know, getting some air. But I figured I'd come outside and I wanted to kind of show you all the things, some of the progress around the ranch. And I specifically want to talk about the garage, but we're going to do the garage last. I really need to solicit your opinions and your comments. And I want to kind of do that at the end of the video so you can go straight into the comments section and just leave me a bunch of feedback because I really need your opinion because I'm in a little bit of a dilemma on something and I'm not exactly sure what to do. Without any further ado, I'm going to hobble my way over there and just kind of talk about the progress that's been going on, where we're at and where we're going. May not really look it just with the turn of the season, kind of dropping all the leaves and making things a little bleak and whatnot, but Mrs. BC and I, we've been busy, man. We've been cleaning this place up. And like I said, within the first month, we had a 30-yard dumpster right here, which was like 30 foot long, 8 feet wide, 6 feet high. And we filled that thing probably over capacity. I'm not gonna lie. Got that out of here. Everything felt clean. Everything felt great. The more we walked around the property, the more stuff we found, which has already kind of started collecting over here. We really wanted to focus on the outside. And now that winter's here, we could focus on the inside, like painting and all those other things. Maybe a little bit of remodeling and maybe a little bit of the garage. So one of the big focus things I've been working on a lot was electricity, man. Finally figuring out where all the electricity is ran around this property, tearing some things up, replacing some switches. Aw, yeah. So this workbench here was originally in the garage when we first moved in. We moved it out here and I've kind of set up like my outdoor garage, small engine type stuff. I think I've changed a few oils out here. This is the garage for right now. I mean, that is just what it is. All the stables have been cleared out. Everything's been cleaned up. Chemicals and hazmats that I got to figure out and whatnot. Generally speaking, man, this place is looking freaking great. So happy to get it cleaned out. In the meantime, you know, as you do, you know, for ranch things, you got to have equipment. Some of the toys that I bought in the meantime to kind of help Mrs. BC and I out in cleaning up the property. Bought this pressure washer. I've already cleaned most of the house, got rid of a lot of muck on the building, a lot of wasp nests and all that stuff. We bought this awesome wood chipper that is just a beast and been able to clean up a lot of debris and branches and all that stuff all over the property. Found 3 wheelbarrows and built 1 good wheelbarrow out of them. Recently bought this backpack leaf blower, which unfortunately bought it after I had my surgery, so I haven't used it, but my daughter has when she was here for Thanksgiving, and yeah, it works. It is awesome. And she had a lot of fun using it. So that was awesome. And then there's the big beast. So maybe I showed this, maybe I didn't. It's an all-terrain mower. I could not get it started originally. Did a little bit of troubleshooting. Found that it had a cracked fuel line. And then it also had a busted fuel pump. Ordered those parts, got that replaced. And I have used the heck out of this thing to basically clear the back area of the property. You could see these tall, they're actually weeds or something of some sort, but all that side over there has been cleared out. And when we did, we found a whole nother like meadow, and in that meadow we found some other cool things. But to show you that, I got to get over to the other building, so let's crutchety crutch our way along. All right, out here in the covered building, the shack I guess we call it, also been doing some work really cleaning it up. All got cleaned out. Since have been piling up a couple of other things that we've had around the property, the old washer and dryer that were inside the house. You remember the tractor, got that working. I fixed that trailer. And then I also found this trailer, put some new wheels on it, and this is also a dump trailer like that one is. So those have been super handy, just moving debris and stuff all around the property. Took some time to install new lights, installed a new switch. So now this area is super lit and super awesome. Typically, I've been parking the truck out here just to kind of keep it covered. Here are a couple treasures that I've found around the property. It's been fun, man. It's been a blast. So on the side of the stable, there was a huge infestation of vines. We cleaned all those out. Lo and behold, buried in this massive plant of vines, found a bathtub. It's actually a clawfoot tub. The claw feet do detach. They're sitting over there by the stable, but yeah, this bathtub was outside. We were cleaning out the area back here. I saw this blue tarp. Cut back the shrubs, pulled the tarp off, and lo and behold, found this. It's a freaking trailer mounted hydraulic log splitter. The engine was pretty stubborn to get going at first, but I have since got it running, and you can see I've been splitting some logs. Actually, I had my daughter out here splitting logs, and she was having a good old time. Since consolidated a lot of the cones, and there's still more out there. They're just everywhere. They're everywhere. It's crazy. All right, one more thing, and then let's head to the garage. You remember this thing, right? It was like this weird, I don't know what it was, multi-story something. Like one day, and I wish I would have recorded it. That would have been really good, but one day I just said, you know what? I'm really tired of looking at this thing. And I sent it, man. I found this tow cable, and I strapped that around the whole thing, had it running that way, hooked it up to another cable, had my truck facing the lake, put it in 4-low, and yeah, a couple good aggressive tugs, and I ripped this joker down, man. It was awesome. It was definitely a chest beating moment. Came down so clean. It didn't hit any of these trees in here. It just fell right perfect. Now I just got to clean it up, and yeah, I ran out of time. I had other priorities, but I'm excited to have this building down. And then once I clear out some of these other trees, I think this tree here is going to go, and then this area will actually be rebuilt with the new gazebo and the outdoor kitchen and stuff like that, which is awesome because there's already electrical and water right out here that we can tap into for that whole thing going on there. Super excited to finally get that thing done. And it's just really changed the vibes out here, just to kind of see just a little bit more and not have this eyesore of a half-built something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. It's so quiet out here. Freaking love it, man. Love it. All right, let's go talk about the garage. The TueZday garage. It is, yeah, it's kind of a mess. I mean, it's not bad, right? Got a lot of stuff just kind of up against the wall here. Cars are sitting comfortably. Mrs. BC's parking space has kind of become the thoroughfare of all things in and out. She hasn't been parking in here too much. That's another thing I didn't mention, right? In the midst of all this stuff, Mrs. BC actually wrecked her van. She hit a deer coming home one night. That had to go to the shop for quite a while. That sucked. Got all taken care of. The garage is, it's not garaging right now. It's not garaging. I mean, obviously it's housing cars, so it's doing garage things. Not much focus has been happening in the garage itself, and really being super focused about what's going on outside and just trying to get as much done as we can. One of the things I want to do right off the bat is probably brand new garage doors, something that kind of matches more the exterior. The garage door openers have stopped working. So here's the big issue with the garage, and let me see if I can capture it from back here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I doubt you're gonna be able to see it. I'll show you real quickly what's happening in this garage. Simply just showing you the back of the refrigerator. Big gap up there, touching the wall down there. So what does that suggest? The garage floor is at a slope, and it's significant. Like when you walk in the garage, you can feel the slope of the garage. And if I could just illustrate how sloped it is, yeah, let me take you to the other side over here. I can't get all the way into the corner because there's just too much stuff. If we look really carefully, ever so slightly, a small amount of brick. That is like the brick foundation part of the house, and that is how tall the back of the garage is all the way to that corner. Now look here. It's significantly more. And if we go all the way around the Z, over here in this corner, you can see how much foundation is showing. It's a lot, man. The difference is about 3 bricks of foundation drop. If you include the mortar, let's say 4 inches, about a 12-inch drop from back to front to back, however you want to look at it, over maybe 30 feet, right? That's quite a slope. And if any of you guys are mathletes out there, tell me the slope. Like, you could do the math. Let's say 30 feet, 12-inch drop. You guys can do the math, numbers and science, all that stuff. Just another way to illustrate, right? I got this roll of tape. I'll just put it on the ground ever so gently. I'm gonna hold it with my finger. I'm not doing anything. And as soon as I let go, yeah, it's even gaining speed. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. If I take the e-brake off the car, it rolls right out. I understand some degree of slope, water drainage or whatever, but the amount of slope that's in here, to me, it's just unsafe. It's just unsafe. I think the slope is significant enough that a lift is not gonna work in here. Yeah, it sucks. It's like, it was too good to be true. It was too good to be true. And now I don't know what to do. I mean, I know what I want to do. Convincing Mrs. BC that it's the right thing to do. Hire somebody to come tear all this concrete out and redo it. Redo the slab in the garage. Maybe it's cheaper to just buy an outbuilding, one of those giant kind of metal shed garages, or even rebuilding the shed that's out there, the open building, rebuilding that with walls and electricity and a concrete slab, and put the lift out there, make that the actual TueZday garage, that outbuilding. Which is cheaper, building a new garage or fixing what's going on in here? I don't know. What would you do? If you were in this situation, what would you do? Like, honestly, let's say money was not the object. What would you do? It sucks. It sucks. But yeah, no, I want to know what you guys would do. What would you do? This is a great amount of space. It's fully insulated. It would be too easy to install some ceiling fans, have some degree of climate control in here. I don't know. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So I have time to figure it out, right? I have time. I got projects inside the house. I got stuff I want to do. I still have long time to go for my recovery on my knee surgery. I don't know. I can't even wrap my mind around building workbenches right now. I just can't. It feels like I would be doing something I just don't want to do because it's not what I want. And I think I should make it the way I want it. You know, maybe we could still do some like small things here and there. I mean, I don't need to have the garage built out for it to be functional, but I do need to be able to have legs. Like, I don't have legs right now. So once I have legs, maybe we'll do some stuff out here because I'm ready, man. I'm mentally ready to start doing something in the TueZday garage. Yeah, resilience. Resilience, patience, not being frustrated. That's where I'm at. Every day, bro. All right, well, I think that's gonna be a wrap for today. Just be patient with me. You guys, you OGs, you're always very, very patient. We're gonna start doing some awesome things, more on the regular. Guys, I am in deep, deep search of project cars. I'm looking for something else. Like, I've got ideas, a 1966 Datsun Roadster. I've been really, really on the hunt for an early 70s Datsun 510. I would love to build another Z. I've got some ideas in my head. I'm not gonna share them because they might be a little controversial. Preferably a 2+2 and not red. God, every car I find for sale is red. I don't want a red car, man. And nothing on red. I just don't want one. I just don't. And then Miata. I really am trying to find a Miata, not clapped, preferably an actual Miata. If we get into the MX-5 realm, something early model MX-5. Again, stay tuned for more on that GTR behind the scenes secret project. As that starts to continue to unfold, we'll get over there as much as we can to help him out. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll get frustrated with it and it'll end up in our garage. I mean, one can only pray, right? So, and that's another thing, a Skyline, a good Skyline, man. A 33, if I can get my hands on a 33, preferably two-door, doesn't have to be a GTR. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao a tutti and aloha. Bye-bye.